Dr. Chanda.
I am the
Dr. Chanda.
And I'm a licensed clinical psychologist.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Paging Dr. Chanda podcast, all things related to the Black culture.
Revolt. Got the doctor in front of your name.
What's up, family? It is Dr. Chanda. Tune in for another episode of Paging Dr. Chanda. All you have to do is keep watching. But listen, if you're just watching from the outside, just peeking through the window, I need you to commit. Come all the way in the house, and I need you to subscribe, like, and shoot me a comment in the comment section. I love responding to all of your comments. I love listening and reading how much you guys enjoy the topics that I'm talking about. So yeah, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, and join the tribe.
Stop scrolling for 1 second. This month, we are bringing back the psychology of Black women, the online class brought to you by yours truly, Dr. Chanda, licensed clinical psychologist. Y'all, I've been getting so many questions about why anxiety and depression presents differently in Black women. What do we do about it? How can we start to combat this? And what are some of the reasonings behind it? Listen, if you are a Black woman who has questions about anxiety and depression, it's something you experience or something your loved ones experience, or if you're a professional who works with Black women who experience anxiety and depression, I promise you this class is for you. Make sure that you sign up today. Hey y'all, welcome back to Paging Dr. Chanda. I'm your host, licensed clinical psychologist, Dr. Chanda Reynolds, your favorite psychologist and dubbed the culture psychologist by my supporters on TikTok. Here, we don't just talk about mental health, we break it all the way down in a real relatable and fashionable way. And today, we gotta talk about it, y'all. We're talking the state of Black America. Black America is at a crossroads. The policies, the politics, and the policing. It's all connected, and moves being made today right now, they're shaping our future. We got DEI programs being slashed, books on Black history being banned, and the Supreme Court has been giving real back of the bus vibes. I don't like that for me and my homegirls. Meanwhile, they're playing in our faces like these policies don't disproportionately impact US today. So today, we're unpacking it all, the real state of Black America, with my good friend, Conscious Lee. Conscious, thank you so much for coming to the show. Welcome back. It's so exciting to have you here again.
I'm glad to be back too. I'm looking forward to this nice thought-provoking conversation.
Yes, I am as well. I am as well. You've been making moves, literally just an activist on these social media streets talking this information. You got TED Talks. You were NAACP nominated, and I voted for you. So you have a lot going on.
I'm always grateful for that too. I'm always appreciate you, definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, George Lee, aka Conscious Lee. My motto is education is elevation. I have a master's degree, adult and higher education, another master's degree in human relations. I like to give content that you usually have to do an admissions process through a SAT, a ACT. I like just giving it to people where you just plug in and you get you a nice upper division course about race, class, gender, ability, sexuality. Most of my analysis are very intersectional, very interdisciplinary. And I like focusing on power and domination and the ways that power and domination can be traced through different identities. I used to be a professor at the University of Oklahoma, where I was a director of debate. I'm also a national championship winning debate coach and a Hall of Fame debater. And really here to really try to engage in some thought-provoking conversation and make it where after you leave the screen, you leave with something. That's why I like Dr. Chanda.
Period. Listen, and I'm a huge fan of your content. You're not just in these social media streets, but you're literally a professional at this. You say you're a world champion at debating. I love that.
Yes. When I was a director of debate, I have 2 debaters that I won a national championship with in 2019. Rest in peace, Darius White, one of my debaters that won the championship. He passed away. But Jasmine Pickens is actually, I think she's the assistant director of debate at Harvard now. But we won a national championship together. And I feel like what y'all see on social media is a lot of times me using the portable skills I've learned through debate and just bringing them to the social media timeline.
I love that. So when thinking about the ways in which information is being conveyed in this climate, in this political climate, like since you're a professional conversationist and you debate, like this is what you do, you're not new to this. Like, what are your thoughts on some of the things that you've been seeing on, the way people are portraying information pertaining to Black people? What's that perspective like?
I think that white supremacy is very structural to America.
Yeah.
And the way that Black people are seen, typically, I feel like we're fungible objects that make it where whatever mainstream America want to use our pain, our suffering, our culture, our credentials to forward the empire, then it's good. But in any instance, those things I just named becomes a threat. I feel like that's when you start to see, I'm gonna say, the trivializing of the Black position, the trivializing of the things that we do. I know a lot of people like to point out that when we talk about DEI, consciously Black people ain't even the main beneficiaries. To me, it's like, yeah, let's keep that in mind and recognize how it don't matter. Let's think about how the sensationalizing of Black progression is what's causing the backlash. They don't care that white women or these women or that or veterans or this. Is like, it's thinking about the way in which messages are pushed through and how anti-Blackness makes it where it almost forces an emotional response. Like, we're not gonna call it affordable care. We're gonna call it Obamacare. We're not gonna call it DEI. We're gonna call it wokeness or reverse racism. We're not gonna call it reciprocal race theory. We're gonna call it making white kids feel bad. It's like, that is the reconfiguration all the time. And that's something we gotta be mindful of.
Yes, it seems very strategic, the way in which the information is being conveyed. And I love how you broke that down. I'm getting ahead of myself. I just wanted to ask you that because I know you're a professional orator. And so I love, getting your perspective on that. But going backwards, so we have a segment called Hot Off the Press, and specifically this segment is related to what things are happening in our world that's impacting us as a people, whether that's mental health related, culture related, or politically related. And speaking of wild headlines, okay, so Elon Musk just retweeted recently a call for the pardon of Derek Chauvin, the man convicted of murdering George Floyd. Not only that, but the conspiracy theory that George Floyd died from fentanyl, which has been completely debunked, is making rounds again. It's giving very much gaslighting vibes at this point consciously. So I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on this resurgence of revisionist history, and how does it tie back to the broader attacks of Black truth?
Man, I think it's always about what serves the empire and what makes white people feel comfortable. The conviction of Derek Chauvin made a lot of people uncomfortable, and it almost like disrupted the comfort zone of whiteness. So it doesn't really matter what actually happened. What matters is who has the power to dictate the perception of what happened. And what they've done masterfully is say that everything that happened during the Biden administration is not only illegitimate, not only is it fraud and scamming, there also was a lot of individuals that came martyrs of the left liberal That's also why in the news as well, we see Trump trying to give reparations.
Yeah.
To the January 6th as well. Like,
Yes.
This is all remaking history. You feel me? And it go to shows that it's the old proverb. Hey, listen, man, we going off of the lion or the gazelle. We know who, if the lion tells the story, we get to know what happened. You feel me?
Yeah.
So to me, right now, it's just for a minute, we were starting to boundary the lion. We were starting to hunt the lion, and now the lion back to control the narrative. And just one last thing, Dr. Bell, one of the pioneers of critical race theory, he talked about inference convergence theory. White folks don't want to do nothing for Black folks that ain't good for them first. In any event, it started being good for us first. Cut it. You want DEI? Just think about it. Was it white women on the DEI target list? No.
Nah.
When the government, when literally the Trump administration created the DEI target list, it wasn't military veterans on there. It wasn't Indian women on there. It was Black women on there. So y'all trying to talk about the other things, to me, it mystifies how anti-Blackness works and how white supremacy works. It's not this cute line that you draw sometimes. Sometimes it's messy and ugly. That's why I like focusing on power and domination. And I think most people don't like to really get there because sometimes it takes uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. And even, going back to what you were saying about like the January 6th folks and how they're, again, revisionist history, right? So they're not even calling them insurrectionists anymore. They're calling them, what's the word? They're survivors of January 6th, survivors of that.
The freedom fighters, they just
Yes.
It was just trying to, fight against tyranny. I'm country, so I don't know. Is it tyranny or tyranny? How do you say it, Dr. Chanda?
Either way, either I know what you mean. Listen, tomato, same thing. Yeah, nah, but it's been crazy. Okay, and so another thought just popped into my head. So yesterday actually, in a closed door type of meeting, there were executive orders signed by Donald Trump. And so specifically, he wants to target historical institutions like museums that convey, inaccurate information or the negative aspects of America, right? So he's specifically targeting the African American Museum in Washington, D.C., to the point where very much at this moment, I know people who are in meetings right now at the museums across the nation. And they said that the discussions are getting heated, and my mind is kind of boggled, not knowing where to go with this, because again, there was a reason why this order was signed behind closed doors.
Yeah, because conservative contradictions, it's woven into the fabric of America, and it doesn't have to be conservatives to engage into it.
Yeah.
Just to the audience, just close your eyes for a second. Let's go down memory lane. Do we remember these folks crying about General Robert E. Lee statues? Do we remember them crying about Confederate statues in the name of what?
Nope.
Conserving history, right?
Yes.
No, you can't erase history, right? Everything they said about trying to go back and reclaim Confederate statues that was put up by the Daughters of Confederacy in the 1960s as a point of being like, we don't want these Negroes to be taking poops by next to us. Like, that's what they came for, right? So when you think about it now, what does it mean for y'all to do this? It's like, hey, it's a conservative contradiction. Everything you said about not erasing history, conserving history, being able to deal with history is literally held into question when you start trying to, sanction this and that. And the thing I think of too is just like, as a millennial, y'all taught me fascism, communism, socialism is the shit y'all doing right now.
Literally, yeah. Listen, I love how you just, like, I can have a thought, but then you're going to come in with the, poetic way of conveying it, and the fabric is woven in America. I'm just like, okay, I wish I can orate the way in which you do. But no, say it again.
I feel like they be playing with us, I feel I'm a Southerner, right?
Yeah.
And what I noticed that from a linguistic standpoint, when I was in college as a college debater, the more I use the language of my vernacular, Ebonics, African American vernacular English, the more people tried to play with me. So I feel like try to master a way of code switching in a way that mean that you can't question. You can't delegitimize my analysis, even if you disagree with it. And right now, I'm 34, so I'm unlearning now. It's like, hey, I'm going to say it how I want to say it, but I'm not even that pressured to code switch with you. If I want to pop off with you today, you're going to get popped with it today. And you can feel how you want to feel with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it. I'll bite the bullet on whatever you're going to do with it. And I think sometimes I'm just learning now the discernment of when to pop and when to not. Yeah, I gotta learn that.
There's room for both. Like, I feel like you do both. Right now, it's giving very much both ends. I love it.
We need both. We need both. If I'm a watermelon eating, what they you remember what they said in New York? You know what I'm saying, at the New York Trump convention? What, he learned how to carve the watermelon with me. Everything I got unqualified. Yeah. I made a living at whatever university conservatives love to root for in football or basketball. If they got a debate team, I was eating their lunch as a debater and a debate coach. But I'm unqualified.
Come on here. I mean, that's how we have to show up in these rooms, though. Like, especially, like, we're dealing with an unapologetic administration. So why would I show up as nothing less than myself? Like, I'm going to give you every bit of, this 4-degree, well put together doctor. And also, I'm going to give you my language that makes sense to myself and my people. Like, I think that comes with in a place of surety. And I think you exude that when you communicate.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, so next question. All right, so we've seen the Trump administration saying some wild things, signing some crazy executive orders. But, sometimes I feel as though that can really impact our overall mental health and the ways in which we're experiencing these things. So I'm wondering for you, consciously, like, when you're seeing some of these things transpiring online, does it impact you mentally? How do you kind of like navigate through that?
In all transparency, I've been stressed and depressed.
Okay.
I've been stressed, depressed, and very uncertain about a lot of the things that's going on in this country. I'm a person that's always been critical of American imperialism, white supremacy, anti-blackness, but this right here got a little different flavor in it. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, in the most non-long-winded way, I've been on a unique journey, Doc, because I just got recently diagnosed with being bipolar type 2.
Okay.
So when I'm thinking about my emotions, my feelings, and my mood in the world that's going on around me, I feel like because that diagnosis kind of shook the way that I feel. I used to feel more confident in being like, I feel this way. Now I'm kind of second guessing myself, you feel me?
Yeah.
So I think because I don't have that confident in my inhibition, I think that it's also making me be a little stressed and depressed. And shout out to everybody, it's a part of bipolar game.
But the fact that you're a Black man, you're embracing it, you're talking about it to the community, that really helps to normalize it. And it helps people to say, you know what, I've been experiencing X, Y, or Z. Maybe I need to go, figure out if something else could be going on. And I love your transparency for that. Seriously.
Yeah, we gotta have something, man. I gotta make sure that all the young Black people specifically, when they view and understand bipolar and they get diagnosed with that, they not filtering it through the pathology of public America, and they not filtering it through the ignorant conversations that happens when Kanye West decides that he wants to, go out on and being a Nazi. And it's like, bro, since when being manic make you a Nazi, fam?
Come
Since
on.
when bipolar make it where you sucking on him? Stop playing with me, man. I'm trying to stay like what? So it's just like, that's what I like to be transparent, because I know when I got my diagnosis, it took me 3-4 months to even talk about it publicly because of how it shook me to the core. So if I can help anybody make it where they can feel a little bit more human and experience it, I feel like I did a cool job. But I know for a fact, I'm still processing my, in real time talking to you right now, I'm still processing all the various things and implications that having the diagnosis of bipolar mean. I'm ADHD and bipolar. So a lot of my executive function, emotional dysregulation, Trump trigger every day. Every day I pull out my phone and see an executive order, I'm having to try to regulate emotions and get into some executive function that I typically don't have, but I'm having to navigate like everybody else.
It really is triggering, especially like when you're someone who's, it literally is like my reaction every day when I turn on the news. That's why I have to turn it off. Literally. And so like for you, like, what does that look like? Do you find spaces where you have to unplug? Like for me, I have to, just unplug from social media and stuff every now and then. What are your strategies for trying to navigate that and to find emotion regulation strategies?
Hey, my therapist told me it's okay in being not okay. And I think what I've learned about bipolar is that we have the tendency to alienate ourselves or to, cause distance. So because I'm now okay with not being okay, I'm cool with alienating myself though. You feel me? Like if I'm not like if I had enough, I will unplug. Unplug mean I'm D&D. And that's D&D in every instance. My wife and the kids in the house, I don't like it. I'm now to the point where it's like, man, if it's a fire putting out, I'm not the fireman. I can't put it out right now. I'm not gonna let nobody irritate me or overstimulate me in a way that make me stressed about something I ain't got going on. And there are moments that I have to claim that time to make it where it say conscious sleep right here, but I have to create time for George. And that's what I feel like I've been learning. You feel me? Like George, they don't know George. They know conscious sleep. And I have to always keep that in mind and sometimes remind people. And when I unplug, I'm not looking at nothing. As a matter of fact, yesterday I unplugged. So when you told me what you told me, that's the first time you're hearing about them trying to regulate museums in historical ways and attacking Black. My first time hearing it. Because when I say unplug, man, whatever happened today, I can read it tomorrow or next week or whenever I feel like dealing with people. So right now I'm just comfortable in being like, I'm not in the mood.
Yeah.
I need to recharge.
And that it comes from like really knowing yourself and knowing when it's time. So, the fact that you're modeling that even for your family, like your kids, your wife, I think that can be powerful too, because it's obviously going to radiate throughout your family, your community, and everybody else connected to you. Right.
Yeah, ripple effect, definitely.
Yeah. All right, so you brought up Kanye West, which brings me to my next question. So there is a new wave of influencers and celebrities, namely Kanye. We got Amber Rose out here. We got, who else? Floyd Mayweather said that Trump is the best president for us right now. So there's a wave of these individuals making these claims about this administration. I'm wondering for you, in your perspective, like, do you find that this could be harmful to the Black community? And what message does that send us when we have people with this prominent amount of platform and power making these types of statements?
I think that I ain't never said this before, but it's a new analysis I just came up with when you asked the question when I was thinking when you was talking, right? Contrarian Negroes has always been a part of the state of the Black community. When I say a contrarian Negro to me is a Black person that always wants to get their value and sense of self in proximity of how far they're away from Black folks and how close they is to white folks. They are contrarian. They think that being a contrarian always relates to intellect and always shows they a free thinker. And I think everybody you name has always had that way of them wanting to carve out a way to uniquely stand out. Whether we're talking about the college dropout, the slut walk, or him wanting to say he the first boxer to ever promote himself. It's like, these are all ways you always try to be an outlier in the community. Now you done got so lost in the sauce, you believe that siding with white supremacists, siding with people that want to dismantle, you college dropout. Your mama was an educator. You said your mama was a teacher, right? So Kanye, what does it mean for you to side with people that's trying to send your Black bro? You made down to university because you didn't like what they was doing. You think taking funding away gonna help you? Amber Rose. So when we talk about the slut walk, so everything you was talking about in terms of gender violence towards women, grabbing grabbing keys, my mean don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many? Don't we got a settlement for sexuals? You know what I'm saying? It's civil, but it's settled. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know what we're doing with this. And I think the best thing we can do as parents, you feel me, that's watching is like, man, teach our kids that contrarian Negroes is not nothing new. You feel me? As somebody that, you know what I'm saying, that like history is like, yeah, y'all, we always have to deal with these. You feel me? In W.B. Du Bois' time, it was them trying to call themselves new Negroes. It's the same thing. You feel me? You being Black ain't good enough for you.
Literally
you got
a
to
pattern.
Try to unique it. You got to try to exoticize it.
Come on, listen. What did you call them? You said the contrary.
Hey, contrarian Negroes. You are a Negro that define yourself as a contrarian to your own community. If you're not being and contrary to the community, you don't see you have value. As a matter of fact, you've internalized Black inferiority so much, you think you're being contrary to the inferiority when you just being contrary to your people. And that's the reason why you see people, especially on that side of the aisle, love to talk about how Black people over here is victims, then they claim these victims Black people. Kanye West do it all the time. They gonna do this to me, they gonna do that to me. Yeah. Nah, man, you was just trying to do all this for your beloved white family at the expense of Black people. Now your white family turned on you, now you trying to get you back. Nah, fam, you stay over there. You drew your line over there, stay over there, bro. Well, that's how I feel anyway. I don't give a damn how good your art is.
Come on. listen, you're cooking because, you know, we see the you know, contrary. Say it again, one more time.
Contrary Negroes.
We see them.
Negro, man. You got to be on the contrary, man. But on the contrary, I believe, man, if you don't get Democrats, listen, man, who the Republican, who does the KKK align with themselves today? But Democrats, listen, man, I'm not a Democrat or Republican, but my question still holds: who does the KKK align themselves with today? Yeah.
They don't think about that though. Like it takes a certain level of you know, racial socialization and a sense of pride that has had to have been instilled in you from like childhood to be able to navigate in some of these spaces. And the fact that they've been so inculcated and brainwashed in terms of like what Blackness looks like, what Black excellence look like, which is also can be problematic if you're associating it from a lens of whiteness. Right. Yeah. And so like to the point where you're internalizing that and you're navigating in these spaces, yeah, you do become that contrarian Negro. I said it right.
Contrarian Negro, Clarence Thomas type Negro. Like, what you mean? Clarence Thomas has defined his whole career in being contrary to Black progression. Anything that has an inclination of Black progression, he has to be on the contrary and say, well, I think that this would incentivize Negroes in being lazy and they got to work as hard as I work. When the whole time, your whole success can be accredited to the thing you say is bad, integration. Right. You feel me? You in your interracial relationship. And it's like, yeah, you're a contrarian, bro.
So what do you think would happen if like our people unified? If we did have like the Kanyes, Floyd Mayweathers, these people in position and power who have these platforms who can say like, look, we got to unify, we got to do X, Y, and Z. How could that kind of move us forward? What would that look like?
Well, I'm going to answer poetically shortly though, right? We can have political, social, economic tranquility. That's a utopian, But that's what I think that answering your question is leaving it to answering the question.
Say it again. Wait, say it again.
We can have a political, social, economic tranquility. You know the word tranquility that they got up in the Constitution. We're gonna get you general welfare and tranquility. Damn it, Black folks need that specifically. And I think that if we were able to, would you say inculcate? We were able to inculcate that for ourselves, be able to lead that ourselves and demand that ourselves. I think that it would be. But the issue is that the people that we've named, they've been seduced by power. They've been seduced by profits. You feel me? Because they have afforded themselves a particular lifestyle, losing their lifestyle is too high level of threat for them. You see what I'm saying? So even thinking about simple things like not only like Palestine or Congo, but it's thinking about things that's happened within the community and how the people we just named, how vocal or not vocal they've been, and when they are vocal, what they've said. So it's just showing like you already, because you got so much, your pockets, you in their pocket, they in yours. You're going to justify always your bottom line. Your bottom line is being a contrary to the Black community. You incentivize it. There's no incentive for me to help you Negroes. I'm good.
Yeah.
Capitalism, I'm a go-getter. Consciously, you lazy. Dr. Chanda, you lazy. Yeah. I got my billion. You can make your billion. Y'all just lazy. Y'all on handouts. It's a problem with the Black community. I was able to work hard for the billion. How come you can't do it? Because you're lazy. You're a victim. You're stuck in the past. But then you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go monetize all Black struggle. I'm gonna create an album. I'm gonna create a tour. I'm gonna create a documentary. I'm gonna go and get this and get that and get that at the same time saying y'all victims for what all this monetized. Even though I ain't even going through it. I'm eating caviar and I got a mansion. I got a doctor. I got a driver. I got a barber that comes to the crib. I got. But I'm gonna sell the struggle. But I'm a punish out for me a contrarian Negro.
Yeah.
This is what this is like.
Literally a manifestation of it. You just talking about that, it makes me think about like, this is what happens when you idolize power and privilege. Like when those become your idols, when that becomes your God, you'll basically do anything. You'll say anything. You'll do anything to rub shoulders with those that you deem are in power and privilege, even if it's at the expense of your own people, i.e. the contrarian Negro.
Contrarian Negro.
Come on, you just taught me something today.
Contrarian Negro. Or y'all know you heard the saying like you gotta be careful of the people around you that want attention.
Yeah.
That'll do anything to get attention, because they'll also side with the opposite of enemies to get the attention. They care about attention. That's the main thing. Any press is good press, whether I'm getting it from a white supremacist or I'm getting it from the homie on the block.
Yeah.
When you think that way, you no longer really care about the people. You only care about what's going to send you up. They gonna send me up. Mm-hmm. Y'all not. Oh, Black power, smack power, whack power, dollar power, like where the money at. Even like, think about it. Floyd Mayweather, in many ways, has always talked about why he want to do what he want to do in relationship to the Black community and other Black boxers being able to dictate their own value and be the main beneficiaries of them fighting. That was his whole thing. Black boxers should be able to be the main, the promoters should not be the main people that get paid. That's what he said, right? You're doing it because you want to set a mold. You want to set a goal for Black folks to try for. You going and kicking it with Netanyahu or talking about how, you know what I'm saying, you spending $50,000 in Gucci and they just call everybody to just, it's not a flex. He think it's a flex though. He ascended so far. He got no relationship to the people really. He can just show us the Gucci he done bought or the 5 cars he done bought, and that's his relationship to us.
And it's so dangerous when you don't have people in your orbit who can kind of like ground you and again, remind you of the importance of staying rooted in community. And I know we're talking about Floyd. We brought up Amber Rose, Kanye. I'm gonna just add Candace Owens in there just a little for razzle dazzle. Conscious for my next question.
Candy.
Huh?
Said not Candy.
Yeah. She in that group too. Conscious, so can you tell us about some things that you have coming up, some ways that we can continue to follow you? What are your offerings right now?
Right now, you can book me for, workshops, facilitations, keynote speakings, things like that on the website, theconsciously.com. Currently working on the book. Hopefully we'll be having it published and out soon. It's a children's book,
Love that, love that.
I have an online class that teaches about, intersectionality and identity and diversity that can be found on my website as well, theconsciously.com. And really, you can follow me on all social media platforms, The Consciously. Looking forward to seeing y'all in the comment section. Education is elevation, truth over feelings, you know what I'm saying? And research over research.
Love it.
Over, they're kind of fast, but yeah.
Do you do any classes or courses with like debating and those types of skills? I would take a class with you to improve my oration, if that's a word.
Yeah. I mean, right now, from doing the TikTok University thing, and it kind of went. I'm currently creating a curriculum that's for like the public, because right now what I have is for people that's like really into like capital P policy debate. So it's like, you know, a lot of jargon and this, that, and the other. And I think the portable skills that make me good at feel like if saying what I mean and meaning what I say, you don't need that jargon. You just need particular things. So right now I'm saying me and the team is discerning through, okay, this is something that matters in terms of debate. This some college policy debate shit. This is to make you a good speaker and debater. This is just some competitive, you know what I'm saying? So really trying to make it do that. But I really would say though, that right now across the country, debate is dying. I'm currently getting to go ready to go be the keynote speaker at the 71st annual NDT on this coming week. It's gonna be in Spokane. Nice. But what I know is that we're losing, even before Donald Trump got in the office, policy debate as an activity across the country on the high school level, in the college level, was already losing funding. I'm hoping that whoever watching this, if you have a child that's in college or a child that's in high school, you encourage them to join the debate team. The last thing I say on this spiel on debate is that I think 70% of our government officials, of our lawyers, you feel me, and people that work in the government and lawyers have a debate background.
Very much so true. Very much so. Very much so. Listen, I always enjoy our time together consciously. Of course, you know, you always welcome back. Please send your love to the family, your wife, the kids, everybody. So again, always a pleasure. Make sure y'all stay tuned with everything that Consciously is doing. Follow him on all social media platforms. Book him for your upcoming speaking events. And don't forget, y'all, to tune in next week to another episode of Paging Dr. Chanda. And don't forget, you have the power to create the emotions that you want to experience. God bless.